Let's talk about Cole Palmer, shall we? Because, James, it was, mere paper talk, wasn't it, yesterday? But it drew a response from the Chelsea boss, Liam Rosenior, in his news conference. He's moved quickly to play down these rumours of a move away for Cole Palmer from Stamford Bridge to Manchester United. Let's hear, shall we, from the Chelsea boss on Cole Palmer.
The speculation regarding Cole Palmer. Is he untouchable? Is he happy?
Yes and yes. It's simple. Cole's an incredible player. Like I have the guy sitting next to me, many players in the group. I'm not surprised at the timing. New manager comes in, all of a sudden there's people unsettled. It's not true. Cole is here. He's very happy. There's no reason for an assurance. It's so unrealistic. It's come from nowhere. There's nothing in it. There's no reason to have the conversation.
So look, him playing it down very quickly. Anything in it, James?
Well, as Liam Rosenior says, he's untouchable and he's happy at Chelsea. He only signed an improved contract last season. That contract takes him up to 2033. Clearly, he's seen as a key player at Chelsea and a key part of the future as well. There have been suggestions from elsewhere that he's unsettled in London. He's unsettled at Chelsea. I think we need to be frank. It's been a troubled season for Cole Palmer, largely because of this injury he's had, this groin injury, which he seems to be dealing with on a week-by-week basis. He's not had a consistent run of matches. He started 11 matches this season. And the links with Manchester United are there because he's been pictured as a child wearing a Manchester United shirt. And the United director of football, Jason Wilcox, was at City and he was heading up the academy there when Palmer was making his breakthrough. I think it feels like a non-starter in this window. I don't think a move is imminent. One thing that's clear is if you're trying to extract Cole Palmer from Chelsea, it's going to be an incredibly expensive deal to do. And clearly, on Chelsea's behalf, there's no willingness whatsoever to let him leave. In an ideal world, he'll be at Chelsea until 2033.
Yeah, Dan, that's what the Chelsea fans want to hear, isn't it? But could you see him being tempted at all to go back to the Northwest, homesick or not? There's no taking away from it. Chelsea are a much better team when he's in the team, but in the last calendar year, he hasn't played as much as he would have liked. Injuries after injury.
Yeah, so as soon as Cole Palmer got mentioned, I was looking at Connor and he was shaking his head. He couldn't believe it. No, I don't see it. Not yet. As James alluded to, yeah, it's been a troublesome season for Cole. I think there's still time to establish himself and get back into the sort of England's starting 11 reckoning, really. I think he'll be on the plane. I just think he's that good of a player. But he needs to start more games. He needs to get consistently fit now for the remainder of the season. But yeah, it's going to be well north of 100 million.
Yeah.
And I just don't see Manchester United or any club actually affording that. I think Man U have got more important priorities to get in the summer, that midfield area. I don't think Cole is a position where they need right now, depending on Bruno Fernandes, that is in the summer. So yeah, it's one to wait and see.
Connor, hands off?
Yeah, I think it's, like you've said, you're not going to get him out of Chelsea right now. I think 7 years left on his deal. And I think it's a nice time for the rumours to come up about him going to Manchester United because of the injuries and because he's unsettled. Like, on the pitch, when he's a bit frustrated with his own performance, it can come across that he's frustrated. And you can kind of use that to make it something that it's not, I think, where you can link him to Manchester United. But I think we're looking at 150 plus million if they're going to let him go on that sort of large contract. They're looking to build a core with him involved in it. Him, Esteval, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez, Reece James. He's part of that core that they're building towards and looking to evolve with. So I think there's absolutely no chance that he is sold.
But be honest, do you think he's a cert to go to the World Cup?
I don't. I think that there was a point where he maybe should have took the surgery a little bit early with his injury to give him time to get back and firing before the World Cup. Obviously, I think that that's a big factor as to why he's not taken the surgery, because he's looking ahead to that World Cup, but it could end up either playing for him or playing against him. He's fit to play Napoli tonight, so let's see if he starts. But I think he needs to start building on those performances, as Dan said, and try and establish himself before the World Cup. But it could go against him not getting the surgery.
Just lastly on Palmer, give me a number, because Dan just said 100 million.
Yeah, I think.
What do the Chelsea fans say? What would it
North,
take
Will,
to
North.
him away?
I think it's like 150, 175 even. I think it's that outrageous that it just wouldn't happen, because I don't see another club coming in with that sort of money that Chelsea would need for it to go through. I just don't see it.
And that's nearly what Raheem Sterling is owed on his contract in his remainder of the time that he's got at Stamford Bridge. Not quite, but it is around £20 million. What's the latest on Raheem Sterling and his future in a Chelsea shirt? Does he have a future in a Chelsea shirt?
No, I don't think he's had a future in a Chelsea shirt for a long period of time. We understand that Chelsea and Raheem Sterling are close to finding a solution which would see his time at Chelsea come to an end. He's not played for Chelsea since May 2024, and he's remained one of the club's best paid players, £325,000 a week, despite the fact he's not played for them for nearly 2 years. He's got 18 months on his contract, and as you rightly say, it's quite an expensive amount of money that Chelsea is spending on him up until the end of this deal next summer. £25 million is what he'd be owed for the rest of that contract. But we understand Raheem Sterling, his stance is he doesn't want another loan deal. He wants a permanent exit. He, of course, wants to play football. He's not going to get any football at Chelsea. But we understand that there could be an agreement reached in the next few days which would allow him to become a free agent and potentially move elsewhere before the end of this window. Though as a free agent, he could, of course, move whenever he wants before the end of this season. But we expect he won't be a Chelsea player beyond Monday. But, of course, Sterling's well within his rights, having signed that contract, Chelsea having given him that 5-year deal, to sit there until that contract runs out and pick up the money, which is £25 million if he stays until the end of next summer.
Dan, there aren't many humans on the planet who would walk away from £25 million. We've discussed this, haven't we? Me and you have discussed this for the last month. It's down to Raheem Sterling whether he wants to be a footballer still, and whether he wants to be a Premier League footballer still is a different question. There were links with Fulham in the summer. Is he still Premier League quality?
Yeah, he's still Premier League quality for sure. He's still got a lot to give. But time is almost running out. I mean, if he stays there now for the rest of his contract, 18 months, his last game would have been at Arsenal, and he didn't really play a lot of minutes there. I don't see another Premier League club touching him, really. And then the options are probably limited. It might be a swan song in America, possibly. But again, it's a long time without actually playing competitive football, and he'll still want a high salary wherever he goes. And I'm just not sure what club would be willing to take that risk, really. So it's probably now or never, really, for Raheem if he wants to carry on playing and affecting football matches, which he still can do. But yeah, he's going to walk away from a hell of a lot of money.
What about Axel Disasi, James? Clearly not part of the Chelsea plans. Where could he be going?
He's another player expected to leave before the window closes. Multiple clubs interested in England, France, Germany and Italy. West Ham also an option as well. Fiorentina, we've been reporting late yesterday evening, according to Sky in Italy, they're interested in a move for Disasi. We know he's no longer part of the bomb squad. He's been training with the Chelsea first team, but he faces an uncertain future. I think it's clear he's not going to be featuring for Chelsea anymore. Sunderland, West Ham and Bournemouth all tried to sign him last summer. We wait to see where he goes, but I think it's inevitable that he does leave Chelsea in this window.
Well, the bomb squad, I mean, as much as they're trying to get rid of the phrase the bomb squad, it's going to exist, particularly around the centre-back position, because let me read this list to you. How long have we got? We've got half an hour. Tosin, Badiashile, Hato, Chalobah, Achampong, Colwill, Anselmino, Fofana and Disasi. That's 9. Potentially 10. What's the talk of Jeremy Jacquet coming into the bridge?
It's our understanding he's expressed a preference to join Chelsea, despite interest from a number of other clubs. Talks are ongoing between Rennes and Chelsea about a deal for a player who's just 20 years of age. It doesn't feel like the sort of signing you'd look to make in this window to make an impact for the rest of the season, but clearly there's so much interest in this player that Chelsea want to act now to avoid missing out on him in the summer. Bayern Munich and Liverpool are 2 clubs that have been reported to have interest in him. We know Rennes want around £56 million. Chelsea unwilling to pay that sort of money as things stand. He's very highly rated by Liam Rosenior. Rosenior came up against him as Strasbourg head coach earlier on this season, but he's expressed an interest to join Chelsea. It's whether or not Chelsea can make this deal happen or not as they stockpile yet more centre-backs.
Connor, explain to the world watching Sky Sports News this morning why your team Chelsea need 10 centre-backs.
Yeah, well, it's easy to sort of look at the list, and there's a long list of centre-backs. I think when it comes to centre-backs at Chelsea, it's about profile, and I think that with Maresca and now with Rosenior, something that's very, very important is how they look to build up from the back in a back 3. And since Levi Colwill, our most important defender, went down injured, our most important centre-back went down injured, he is usually that central centre-back in a back 3 who is the distributor, and on the ball he's so important to kick-starting attacks. And I think right now, apart from Tosin, we've struggled when it comes to having somebody who can do that same role, and Maresca had to sort of change the system a little bit in order to sort of help the progression out from the back. And now Rosenior's having to, again, in his first few games, he's used 3 or 4 different players in that central centre-back role to try and find a way. And I think that Jacquet coming in, as young as he is, he's somebody that profiles well, that can do that, but could also then profile with Colwill in the future. So when you're looking to make a signing now, I think it has to be somebody that not only can help now, if it was to be now, in a central centre-back position, and then alongside Cole Wilt as well, because you're thinking about the future at that point. I think the main thing is Joshua Chempong. That's my main worry, is him then not seeing a pathway at Chelsea, because I think of all the centre-backs we've got